Snake, the Solid Eye's night vision mode can give you a clear view of footprints left behind by the enemy. Use this feature to help you determine their patrol routes more efficiently. I designed your radar exactly to your specifications, Snake. The baseline map, shown in the upper right of the screen, shows a visual representation of what your senses tell you, including scents you're not even conscious of. It compiles and amplifies data on surrounding temperature, humidity, sounds, and smells. Think of it as a digital expression of the feel of your environment.
The feel? You mean my close-range senses?
That's one way of putting it, yeah. The stronger a feel is, the more vividly it shows up on the radar. But if you're somewhere with a high baseline, in the middle of a combat zone, say, or a panicking crowd, it's tougher to pick up that feel. Granted, you tend to stick out more when it's quiet around you, and it's easier to slip by unnoticed in a commotion, but it also makes you less alert to threats. Living organisms, such as soldiers and moving objects like unmanned weapons, give off strong feels, so they'll show up clearly on your radar. The radar also displays the strength of the ripples you yourself send out to others. The more you stick out, the bigger and brighter your radar presence will be. On the other hand, keeping quiet, staying still, and using Octocamo to blend in with the environment makes your radar presence smaller, indicating that you're less likely to be detected by the enemy. The militia fighting against praying mantis are mercenaries belonging to a small-scale local PMC. Most of them are from around here, but it was more than ethnic ties that motivated them to pick up their guns. The country suffers from chronic high unemployment. There are lots of households just barely scraping by. Kids that grow up in that environment don't have the chance to get a decent education. And there aren't enough opportunities for them to go abroad and find work either. PMCs are one of the few options they have to earn a living.
And for that, they go out and risk their necks.
It's not a respectable trade by any measure. Still, for some reason, I can't bring myself to condemn them for it. It's complicated, you know? During the Cold War, this region was the site of irregular proxy wars fought between the two superpowers. Now that it's over, the ethnic conflicts that were simmering beneath the surface have erupted into full-scale civil wars. Even today, the political situation is fragile. The land and its people have been ravaged and exhausted by years of constant warfare. With food scarce and the economy near collapse, the country's barely being kept afloat by aid from developed nations. And despite all that, the current regime is still hiring PMCs to put down the anti-government militia, or terrorists as they call them. I know security's a big issue, but come on.
If you've got the money to buy bullets, you should be using it to buy your people bread.
That's how a lot of people would put it, yes.
Makes sense to me.
Notice the camouflage option on the Mark II's menu screen. Selecting it lets you manage the Octocamo when you need to adjust the settings on your suit, for example. The Octocamo has a manual mode where it sticks with one particular pattern, as well as an auto mode where it changes in real time to match the background. Pick whichever one is easiest for you to use. Snake, you need to rendezvous with our informants. They're U.S. Special Forces. If you need to know which way to go, check your radar. Those guys really know how to put on a show. I'm sure it was old and decrepit already, but I've never seen a building go down like that.
Nice one!
What? What happened?